Hey bag ladies and bag dudes, I'm Sarah Lawson. Today I'm going to be talking about the vote we had for our next bonus pattern, Caterina Roccella Lavish Fabrics, how our Sew Sweetness retreat went this past weekend. The book review will be for Trendy Table 2. I'll be doing a demonstration for how to add zipper ends to your zipper, and there's a great giveaway at the end. I'm Sarah Lawson from Sew Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Sewcial Sunday, my weekly sewing chat. Hey everyone, hope you had a great Sunday today. We had our Sew Sweetness retreat. That was Thursday through Sunday, which was today. I have some more to tell you about that and some pictures to show you on later in the chat, so I hope you'll stick around for that. Just as a friendly reminder, just about everything that I talk about during Sewcial Sunday are things that I've purchased myself, so these are not things that I'm getting paid to talk to you about, but just cool things that I found that I'd like to share with you. And also things that I talk about or that I'm scheduled to talk about, such as notions, fabrics, books, and projects, I link to in the description. So if you're interested in finding out more, just check that link in the description and it'll take you to a website where you can either purchase or read a little bit more about that product. So I see everyone jumping in on the chat on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks so much for joining me. And I also saw one of the retreat attendees, Marita, on YouTube beforehand. Nicole said, had a blast this weekend at the retreat. Thank you, Sarah and retreat ladies. Thanks so much for joining us. I know you had a long weekend and I really appreciate it. I see Connie, Richard from Michigan. Thanks so much for joining me today. Okay, so I wanted to show you actually a gift before we start, a gift that I got at the retreat from Tamara. I'm going to slide over to the side view. So Tamara gave me this awesome scissors bracelet to match my necklace, which I'm wearing. You could see in the side view in a second. And she gave me this gift. Tamara also, Tamara basically does everything. She does paper crafting as well. And so she made this awesome gift box. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? So I just wanted to show you. I'm definitely not this talented when it comes to paper crafts, but I thought it was a lovely gift and had so much fun at the retreat. All right. So the notion of the week is, I guess, a notion. So as you may have heard, within the past week, we started selling acrylic templates for the minikins. We got a few of those in stock yesterday, so I've relisted some of those on the website. But Ed and Robin, who create the templates, Robin's sort of the quilting brains and Ed is the man behind the laser. So he sent me 3 more ideas for sort of multi-purpose acrylic templates. So I just wanted to share them with you. I'm going to pop over again to the side camera and let me know what you think in the comments if you like any of these, if we should carry these in the online shop. So the first of the 3 possible ideas for acrylic templates is the seam guide. So there's a handy measurement ruler at the top, but basically how you use this guide is you'll place it long ways in your sewing machine and whatever seam allowance you need for the project that you're working on, or if you need to do some top stitching, you place the needle down in sort of the cutout for whatever seam allowance that you need. So for example, if I needed a 1/2 inch seam allowance, which is really common in my bag patterns, I'd put my needle down in this spot right here, and then you can use either washi tape or painter's tape to mark your seam allowance on the bed of your sewing machine. And this is helpful especially if you have a sewing machine where you need to move the needle to the right or to the left. My machine is straight stitch only, so my needle doesn't move, but this is really helpful. Top stitching, many of my patterns use 1/8 of an inch seam allowance for top stitching. There's no mark usually on the bed of the sewing machine, but you can go ahead and use the seam guide, put your needle down, and then mark with some washi tape on the bed of your machine and you're good to go. So let me know in the comments if you like the seam guide. The second of the 3 possible acrylic templates that Ed and Robin came up with is the corner rounding template. So basically this template has 3 different edges for rounding corners. So if you're working with a pattern where you need to cut out a rectangle or square and you need to round the corners yourself to make the pattern, there's 3 different sizes for rounding the corners, which is really cool. Obviously this would be like a very rounded bag. This would be just for just slightly rounding corners. So I thought this was another cool idea, corner rounding template. And the third of the 3 acrylics is what they came up with for boxing corners, which I think a couple people commented on in the show last week. So these are different sizes for boxing your corners. Basically, you would hold the template up in the corner of the fabric after you've sewn the sides and the bottom right sides together, and then use the template to cut out the fabric, and then you'll just sort of pinch that to create the gusset, and different sizes for rounding, boxing your corners. So let me know in the comments if you liked either the seam guide, the corner rounding template, or the boxing corners template. Just leave a comment and I'll be checking later to see what you liked for possibly carrying other acrylic templates in the shop. Also, a few weeks ago, we had a vote on the blog for the next set of patterns and videos. Danny's idea was to have a bonus pattern in the set. Those are coming out early fall, and it'll be a set of 12 patterns and videos, and we wanted to do an extra bonus pattern. So Danny's going to put a graphic up on the screen right now. We had a vote for 3 possibilities. So the first one was for a cooler, which is bigger than a lunch bag, but to keep your food and beverages cold. The second option was for a waist bag, also known in the US as a fanny pack. And the third option was the backseat car organizer. And this is something that would go over the passenger seats, the back of the passenger seat, to hold iPads, notebooks, markers, whatever you need for car trips. And so this is the results of the vote. It was a really, really close vote the whole entire time, but the cooler did win. So the cooler will be the bonus pattern that will be coming out with later this fall, and that'll be a pattern as well as a video. So I know a lot of you will be really excited that the cooler one, I saw a lot of comments in the shows recently and in the Facebook group regarding that cooler. So I'm excited about that one as well. I have a really great idea for a great looking cooler. Okay, the fabric of the week is a fabric that I've had in my stash, I think for a year or two now. I think closer to 2 years. I don't have the full entire fabric line, but I just wanted to show you the prints that I do have. So again, this is Lavish, designed by Caterina Roccella for Art Gallery Fabrics. This first fabric that I have is a canvas print, so it's a white background fabric and lots of different flowers on it. And these are pretty good size. This one's about 2 inches tall, so a good size. Let me open it up so you can see more, and I super love this strawberry print right over here. And again, this is a canvas. This is a really nice canvas. I like the weave on it, and the colors are bright as well. All right, let me show you some of the other fabrics that I have from my stash. And again, this isn't the full line, but these are just the fabrics that I picked out that I liked. This is sort of I guess you could call it a border print. So it's got, here's the selvage right here. This would be great, I think, especially for a dress or skirt because of the different variations in the design. And let me pull the fabric up a little bit more. So toward the middle of the fabric, away from the selvage, it sort of goes more toward a really dark navy print like this, and really bright pops of color. Danny wants me to hold this up in the camera, so actually I'm going to. We're going to switch over to the front shot. So at the top of the screen, this is the selvage right here where the green is, and hopefully you can see enough of the fabric. But again, super lovely prints. I love the really large floral right toward the middle. And this would be great not only for bags for fussy cutting, but for a dress or skirt as well. Like the bottom of the skirt would really look nice with that, that teal print right there. Okay, let me show you a few more of the prints in the side view. This is actually my favorite print in the whole entire fabric line. And I think I'm holding it upside down, so let me flip it around. I've used some of it already, as you can see, but a really beautiful floral that reminds me of walking in a field of wildflowers. Lovely colors. I like the teal background in this one a lot. This is one of the coordinating prints, sort of to calm down all the wildflowers. I like this one too because it reminds me of a paint box. Little swatches of brush strokes. And here's another, the same print but in a different colorway. Here's another of the background prints that I picked up, and this is the last print that I have from this fabric line. Another lovely, I think these would go well together. I'm actually cutting out fabric with, I think I had this one with this print, and I also cut out a bag with this fabric and the sort of the brush strokes for the lining. So I think lovely prints. Lovely coordinates, and if you're interested in purchasing these fabrics, even though they came out a couple years ago, if I had to guess, If I had to guess, that would be my best guess. But Hawthorne Threads actually still stocks the line, and it looked like they had the full line in stock. So the link's in the description if you're interested in seeing those fabrics or the full lavish fabric line. And again, that was designed by Caterina Roccella for Art Gallery Fabrics. So I had a question for you. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite pre-cut? So there's lots of different pre-cut options. I've seen 2.5-inch squares, charm packs, which are 5-inch squares, layer cakes, 10-inch squares, jelly rolls, which are strips of fabric, so they're usually 2.5-inch by 42-inch long strips, so long strips, usually every single print in the fabric line. Fat quarter bundles, there's half-yard bundles, 1-yard bundles. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite. So my personal favorite when looking to purchase fabric online, or especially when I'm looking to purchase fabric from an entire fabric line, I usually look for half-yard bundles, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Half-yard bundles are great for most quilt patterns that you'll find out there. And also, as far as bag making goes, half-yard bundles are great as well, because most medium-sized bags, I can get away with a half-yard of exterior fabric and a half-yard of lining fabric. And especially if I'm adding in some solids or cork fabric for straps or accents, half-yard would even work for a larger bag as well. So that's what I look for when I'm purchasing fabric, either at the store or online. So I wanted to share some photos from the retreat. It was this past Thursday through Sunday, so actually this afternoon the retreat ended and everyone went home, or at least most people went home. I think a couple people went home on Saturday night, but Danny's gonna Danny printed out some photos from the retreat, so I'm gonna share these photos with you. So the first photo is a photo that Colleen made with her pillow and her bag. I'm totally kidding. We actually have the photos for you on the screen. So I'm gonna explain the photos before they switch over, because it's a carousel. So this is Natalie. She made actually 2 airplane bags during the workshop. Love Natalie's expression in that picture. This is Kim teaching the workshop on Friday for the cathedral window pillow. It was a great project, and basically everyone finished their pillow top or the whole entire pillow. This is a photo from Colleen's Instagram while Colleen was working on her pillow. She used Denise Schmidt fabrics. Came out great. We went to the restaurant, a Mexican restaurant in the area, on Friday night, so I think almost everyone went to the restaurant. So this is a photo from that. That was a lot of fun. This is Colleen's photo from her Instagram. This is her finished pillow, her finished airplane bag, and then her little unicorn buddy right there, super cute. Lish made this pillow using white solids, and I believe this was a cotton and steel print. I could be wrong, but there's a little cute kitty pin on the side. That came out great. And another photo from Lish from her Instagram. This is her finished airplane bag. I think she used, oh gosh, sorry. the fabric name is escaping me. We had 2 Marys at the retreat. I guess Mary number 1 made that pillow top using batiks and polka dot prints for her son. This is from Erin Rowley Designs on Instagram. Erin made the airplane bag and the pillow. There's Kim and Natalie from the workshop. There's Natalie's finished pillow. She used pink solids for the background. Of course, Natalie and pink go together. There's a photo of me and Kim. I think this was from when I was introducing Kim for her class. I think that's the only photo of me and Kim during the retreat weekend together. This is a photo from Tamara's Facebook, and just sort of a photo collage of different things. There's Tamara's bag and pillow that she made, some other photos, and this is a photo actually of the airplane bag. Someone enlarged, Terry enlarged the kitty cat airplane bag, and Vanessa made a teeny tiny one. Here's everyone with their finished pillows or pillow fronts or pillow tops, what have you. This is outside at the retreat location, and then everyone with their finished bags or bags in progress. So I think that's the last photo. It was so much fun. It's amazing being in a room, oh, there's Natalie again. It's amazing being in a room with so many strong, smart, and creative women. I mean, it's inspiring to me, and those are the kind of people that I want to be around and the kind of people that inspire me. So much fun at the retreat. I wish I could show more photos. These are just some photos that I found from public Instagram profiles. I'm sure there's more floating around on Facebook that I just haven't had time to come across. So I'm sorry if I haven't shared your photo. I just didn't have time to comb through all the photos on social media, but lots of fun. And I know there's, I saw Nicole and Marita that are watching the show. Marita actually drove a few states over to get to the retreat, so I'm guessing Marita's watching the Sewcial Sunday chat tonight from her hotel room, but lots of fun, and I can't wait to do it again in September. So getting on to Danny's favorite part of Sewcial Sunday is when we ask all the bag ladies and bag dudes to let us know in the comments. Just go ahead and type that in the comments right now, either bag lady or bag dude. And we really love the community that either of those words is creating. We love all of the interaction and the community that it's created. So if you're not already a member of the Facebook group, the link to our Facebook group is in the description, and I hope you'll join us there. Danny took a few behind the scenes live videos that he posted in the Facebook group from the retreat this weekend. So if you're kind of curious to see, I think he took a video of the welcome mixer. Is that right, Danny? Welcome mixer video of the sort of the retreat classroom area. So if you're interested in seeing those, just pop over to the Facebook group, either join or jump on over there and you can find the videos in the group. Okay, so now on to the book review of the week. Is actually a really fun book that I purchased last week. So I'm going to pop over to the side camera and show you some pictures from the book. This book is called Trendy Table 2. It's by Heather Peterson of Anka's Treasures, and this is the front cover of the book. I'm actually going to flatten it so you can see both the front and the back cover together, because this is probably my most favorite sewing related photo that I've ever seen. Like, this is a barn. I'm not sure what state this photo was taken, but these are all of the projects from the book sort of tacked to the barn for the photo. So I super love this picture. It really pulled me in and made me want to purchase the book. Let me open up to the front cover, and I'll flip through a couple pages to show you the projects. So lots of different options for table runners. There's a few seasonal things in there as well. I think, well, I love like almost all of the table runners in this book, but my favorites are definitely represented here. So I especially like this. I haven't done a huge amount of applique, but I really love this table runner here. I like this hexagon one, and I love these graphic stars. So lots of different options for table runners in the book. Here's some more of them. This one with the coffee cups is so cute. And I like this sort of table topper with the star in the middle. That's adorable as well. So there's very detailed instructions in the book. There's full color illustrations. I don't want to show all of the illustrations in super detail just because to respect the author, but all of the projects are represented by 1 or 2 pages of instructions. There's a template in the book as well, and I read through the instructions. They were very easy to follow, not a lot of cutting, so seemed like quick projects. I think I'm going to make this table runner first just because I love the applique. The book recommends, I think, a blanket stitch or a zigzag stitch to tack down that applique, but my machine's straight stitch only, so I'm going to give it a try, maybe with some wool and a straight stitch so the wool doesn't fray. And here's some more pictures of some of the other projects. So I know that was short, but the illustrations are so nicely done. I think if you're interested in these projects, you'll be super pleased, and I'm going to flip this book open flat again. So again, the book was called Trendy Table 2, and all of these projects are included in the book, so there's 15 table runners. So a lot of bang for your buck in the book, and lots of options, especially for gift giving or making table runners for yourself. All right, so I have a question for you. Let me know in the comments, do you make table runners? So you can just let me know yes or no in the comments. I think I've made a total of 2 table runners in the past. I like that they're quick projects and they're not full-on quilts, so it lets me dip my toes into the creativity and use of that particular pattern. I think the table runners I've made in the past were both by Jaybird Quilts, so sometimes I just need sort of quick satisfaction, especially when I'm really busy with work, which I think I might make one of those table runners tomorrow, or finish up a mini quilt. Something quick and easy that I can finish and feel good about myself for actually finishing a project instead of adding some more UFOs to the pile. So that's my answer as far as the table runners. I would like to make more. We don't really have a dining room table, but I think they would be fun to use as wall hangings as well. So the demonstration for this week is for a zipper end. I did one before the show. It took about 1 or 2 minutes to do. You can use a zipper end for something like the cotton candy pouch. So I'm going to flip my zipper end up. So a lot of zipper ends that I've done in the past are covered by fabric, which are completely fine. But if you want to add a little bit of extra bling to your zipper ends, these zipper ends I think will fit the bill. So I'm going to show you over in the side view. So first of all, here's my zipper with the zipper end, so you can see what it looks like. This is the front or the right side of the zipper end, and this is what it looks like from the back. So let me show you what you'll need to install that zipper end. So first, of course, you'll need a zipper. I'm using a number 3 zipper, which is also known as a dress or skirt zipper. This is the zipper end hardware, and there's a link in the description. I purchased these from Emmeline Bags, but they come in different finishes. This right here is the iridescent rainbow finish, but I think I saw them in copper, gunmetal, other finishes also. They come with little tiny screws. You only need 1 screw to install the zipper end, but I left all the rest of my screws in the baggie just so I wouldn't lose them. I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 glue just to make sure that zipper end is completely secured. And also you'll need a really small Phillips head screwdriver to screw that screw in. So the first step in installing the zipper end is cutting off the very end of the zipper tape, and just go ahead and leave that metal zipper stop on there. Okay, so I'm going to flip to the wrong side of the zipper, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold those ends in so it'll look kind of like that. Okay, I'm going to test my zipper inside the zipper end before I glue it in place. So this is the back of the zipper end. I'm just going to slide it in there just to make sure it fits, and I know how it's going to go in there. So this is what it'll look like when it's finished from the front. Okay. Now that I know how it's going to go in and fit inside, I'm just going to take my glue and put a little dab of glue inside that zipper end just so it'll be completely permanent. You don't need to use a lot, just a little drop is fine. And then you want to make sure the side with the metal zipper stop is going through the right side of the zipper end. Okay, so now that that's secured, I'm going to flip to the back of it and go ahead and screw that little screw in. As with all screws, you want to make sure that you're not stripping the screw as you're screwing it in place, so just make sure you get it to go in straight. And I know Danny's always harassing me when I'm trying to build furniture and other things, and he can hear the screw being stripped as I'm using his screwdriver. So I'm going to be really careful right here and try to get that screw to go in straight. Okay, so it screws in pretty easily, as you can see. And that took me about a minute to get that installed, and this is what it looks like from the front. And then you have a really nice zipper end on your zipper, and that just replaces the fabric zipper end. So again, if you're interested in finding some zipper ends that you can use to install into your projects, just check the link in the description and you can find that there. So that was really fast and easy. I really needed it. I did admit I took a nap earlier today, but I'm definitely running out of steam, so I needed something really foolproof and quick to show you on Sewcial Sunday tonight, like that zipper end, so that definitely fit the bill. All right, if you enjoy our live shows, or if you enjoy any of the bag videos or tutorials that we've done in the past, I'd like to invite you now, if you're watching on Facebook, to hit the share button and share this Facebook video with your other sewing friends. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, if you could hit the like button, which is the thumbs up button. Likes and shares really help us out so much, because Facebook and YouTube really look positively on videos that have a lot of likes and shares, and they consider sharing our video with other people that may not have seen the videos in the past. So we really appreciate the likes and shares. Even a simple like helps us out so much, and thank you so much for doing that. It helps us out a lot. So the winner of last week's giveaway was Janet Greenslade, and I contacted Janet earlier today on social media, so congratulations to Janet. I'm going to answer a few questions live, and then we'll get on to the giveaway for this week. So if you have a question for me that I can answer live, go ahead and type that in the comments now. We'll take a few questions. We'll take as many as we can, and then if we've missed your question, feel free to either email me, or you can ask on Tuesday's show, which is Ask Sarah, and basically the whole purpose of that show is to answer questions live. Okay, Karen had a question. Do the zipper ends only work on the dress zippers, not the purse zippers? I tried this on both the number 3 dress skirt zippers and also handbag zippers, and because the handbag zipper has the wider tape, handbag zippers are 1.25 inches wide, and the number 3 dress skirt zippers are about 7/8 of an inch wide, so not as wide as the handbag zippers. I found that the ends just look nicer and neater with not that all of that extra zipper tape showing in there. So I found that it did look best with the smaller number 3 dress skirt zipper. Diane said, are you guys planning on moving in the near future? We actually are. Danny talks about it nearly every day. Our options are kind of open, but he's been looking especially at Tennessee because he likes the area. The climate is a little bit different than Chicago, a little bit because it's south of us in Chicago. He's been scouring listings every night before he goes to bed, and I think we're planning on going there just to see how we like living in that type of area. He wants to go next week, but I don't know if we can get our act together that quick to go next week, but he does want to go visit areas before we move just to see if we like the area. He thought perhaps getting an Airbnb just so we could have like regular daily life as opposed to a hotel / vacation. So that's the status on that at least. Judy asked, would you consider holding a retreat in the Philadelphia area? The retreats that we had last year and this year were in Chicago, which were the retreat location was about 5 minutes from our house. We are open to other states or other areas. We just haven't investigated so far, but we're definitely keeping our options open, and other major cities like Philadelphia definitely on the list. So thanks so much for asking. Another question, do the zipper ends come in different widths? So I'm sure if you looked on Etsy or other websites, you could find different styles or widths. On the M-Line Bags website, this was the most common that I found. I haven't investigated fully, so I can let you know on a future show if I found other options, but as far as ease of finding the hardware, I found this quite easily on M-Line Bags, so that's the one that I wanted to show you in the demonstration tonight. Okay. Lots of questions coming through. Sherry says, is it possible to increase the width of the Hyacinth bag without needing to change the width at the top of the zipper? That's a great question. So to increase the width of the Hyacinth bag to make it wider, you would add extra fabric to the fold. So perhaps place your pattern piece a little bit farther from the fold. You'd also need to increase the length of that side panel. You could still use the same width of zipper, perhaps a little bit longer of a zipper, but since the Hyacinth bag also has a zipper tail like the cotton candy pouch does, I think it would be pretty easy, fairly easy to adapt that to be a wider bag. Nikki says, I was watching Stitched In with Sarah on YouTube. Do you ever still do those? That's a great question. So last year, before we had our home renovation, we had live shows 3 days a week. So we did Sewcial Sunday, we did our Tuesday show, Ask Sarah, and then we had a show on Thursday called Stitched In with Sarah. I think we did that for about 2 months, the 3 shows, and then I found after the 3 months that the three live shows a week was just a little bit too much. I was honestly having trouble coming up with fresh content for 3 live shows a week, and so we decided to go down to the 2 live shows. I don't like to be repetitive and keep showing the same demonstrations and books and notions and talking about the same things over and over, so that's one of the reasons we decided to go down to the 2 live shows a week. And another reason that we decided to do that is because we're really dedicated to the live shows. We don't like to miss. I don't think we've missed a live show this year. We've even done shows on Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day. We don't like to miss shows, but it's really hard to have family life when we need to be home for live shows 3 nights a week. And so that's part of the reason why we switched to just Sundays and Tuesdays. But we're super dedicated to keeping up with those 2 days. I like the format of those 2 days. I like Sunday's show, showing you all the different fabrics, books, and other things, and Tuesday where we can answer a lot of questions, and Danny joins me, so it just seems a better fit, and I hope that's okay. But for now, just 2 days a week, and we are also investigating having sort of a live online retreat / sew along maybe once a month. Danny's still investigating the technology on that, but we'll let you know on the live shows as soon as we have that well in hand. Samantha wanted to know, planning on buying myself a Juki and was wondering which one you had before buying mine. So I did a video on my Juki, I think earlier this year. I have actually 2 Jukis. They're basically the same thing, but one is the Juki TL2010Q, and the second one is the QVP 2200 Mini. Wow, that's a mouthful. So they're both basically virtually the same thing. The main difference is the 2010 can be sold online, and the QVP 2200 is a quilt shop only machine that can only be sold in an actual quilt, brick and mortar quilt shop. Other than that, the features, the look of the machine is the same, and it's straight stitch only. If you're interested in my Juki video, you can check my YouTube channel or also on my website. And I think it was about maybe a 10 or 15 minute video. I showed you all the different knobs and features. Not that there are a whole lot, because it's a very simple machine, although very trustworthy and reliable. And I put lots of layers of cork and foam interfacing through the machine and sewed on it just so you could see how many layers that it can deal with. Karen wants to know, at some point, can you design a bag featuring French seams? Love the look of them, and I'm sure you could pull it off. That's a great idea. I think one of my first patterns was a little clutch with, I believe French seams. It's been a while since I've made that particular clutch, but I will add that to my list. I think it's an interesting feature and skill to add to bag making. So thank you, Karen, for that suggestion. Alicia asks, have you ever considered making wallets to go with the bags? Another great question. I've written, I think it was 3 wallet patterns in my next set of 12 patterns and videos, so I'm really excited about those. 3 different looking wallets, but all with separate features that make them kind of unique. And also, we're planning on doing a free video this upcoming week. It'll be coming out before next Sunday, for Cork Club, for a men's bifold wallet. So 2 small pieces of cork, raw edges cut and assembled. I think it'll be a really quick project and a fun wallet to make. And I'm calling it a men's wallet, but it's fine for ladies as well. Another question is, what is the name of the bag next to you? This is actually one of the minikins. This is the cotton candy pouch. This is size large, so there's 3 different sizes. I've got small and medium behind me on the shelf. Let me grab those out. And I made all 3 of these in Tula Pink fabrics. Different Tula Pink fabrics from different fabric lines. This one was from her Slow and Steady fabric line. This is Tula Pink's, I know the fabric is called Dear Me. And this is from the Prince Charming fabric line. So these are really fun. And I've got a little zipper pull from the Etsy shop, Trina Peterson's Etsy shop, if you're interested. A really cute unicorn zipper pull on this one. So again, these are the Minikins cotton candy pouch. Okay, I see Danny's queuing up another question to post on there. Another question, any suggestions for water-resistant fabric for bag lining? That's a great question. I think maybe 3 weeks ago I showed a demonstration on Sewcial Sunday on how to use iron-on vinyl, which makes any fabric into a laminated fabric. You could certainly purchase fabrics that are already laminated. You can use a fabric called PUL, which is commonly used to make cloth diapers. That's also water resistant. Any of those would be fine. If you're making, especially for a lunch bag, you might look for fabrics that are food safe, just to make sure that you're not putting something dangerous next to, where you're putting food in the lunch bag. But whether you laminate the fabrics yourself or if you purchase them pre-laminated, that's a great choice for either a cosmetic bag or a lunch bag that you need to be water resistant or easy to wipe down. Lydia says, do you have a video on how to install a metal zipper? Mine always comes out looking funny. It's not like a regular zipper. I totally agree with you. Metal zippers are definitely more finicky than a regular nylon zipper, which is what this was, what I showed in the demo today. I do have a video that we did earlier this year where I talk about different types of zippers. I even show metal zippers and how to remove extra teeth, so it makes it a little bit easier to sew into your project. So look for that video on my YouTube channel or on my website. I think I called it different zippers, or I know when I Google it, that's what I usually Google for finding that video. So just check out, you can Google Sew Sweetness and different zippers, and it should show you a video for that, and it's also on the YouTube channel. Kathy says, PUL is a great water-resistant fabric. Yes, thank you. Great recommendation. I love that we have so much interaction in the chat, so keep that up. Elizabeth says, water-resistant canvas, another great recommendation. And Val says, I just used PUL in the I Spy and it worked great. So great to hear that. I Spy is a great one for putting cosmetics as well. I've seen people use the I Spy for nail polish, so another great project to use laminated fabrics for. Jeff wants to know, what size needle do you use for sewing the cork fabric? I personally use Oregon 9014 needles or Schmetz Microtex needles. I think there's a lot of universal needles that you can find for either of those, and really easy to work with, and I use that for basically all of my projects as well. Lisa wants to know the link for Trina Peterson's Etsy shop, please. I'll have to investigate that, or maybe I'm not going to leave it up to Danny because I don't want to give him an extra job, but I can add that to my blog post link. If you'd like to find that, I'll do that right after the chat. Corey wants to know, Corey's letting me know, I found the food safe PUL at wazoodle.com. Thanks so much, Corey, for posting that link. I know it's certainly helpful for people watching the show, and there's a little graphic on the screen as well that Danny put up there. Oh, Danny's going to find the link for Trina's Etsy shop. It? Yes, that's the shop. What's the... Yeah,
just Google Trina Peterson Etsy shop. It's first link.
Okay. Danny is suggesting for that link for Trina Peterson's Etsy shop. All you have to do is Google Etsy and also the name Trina Peterson, and you'll find that right away. He said it came to the top of the listings for that. So thanks, Danny, for finding that for us really quick. Oh, I'm going to grab some water. Sorry. Another question, should you add vinyl to the fabric before cutting? I'm making the train case and the pieces shrink a bit. Great question. I think in the demonstration that I did with that iron-on vinyl, if that's what you were asking, you should definitely add the vinyl to the fabric before cutting, just so you get a clean cut as well. Not that this is sort of related, but not exactly the question you were asking. It just came to my mind because you mentioned shrinkage. If you're quilting your fabrics to interfacing for your project, you want to make sure you quilt those before you cut out your pattern pieces, and if you want, rough cut them a little bit bigger than the actual pattern piece that you're cutting it out for, because usually when you machine quilt fabrics to interfacing, if you're a quilter, you probably know this, but things shrink down a little bit. So you want to make sure you quilt before cutting to your pattern pieces, cutting to size, or just rough cutting the fabric and interfacing bigger before you quilt, and then cutting down to the actual size after you've quilted. Tamara says they have nylon zippers that look like metal now. They sure do. Tamara used one actually in her airplane bag project at the retreat this weekend. I actually have some in my stash that I purchased a while ago. They were handbag zippers they were actually nylon coils that look like metal. So I'll try to show those on the Sewcial Sunday show next week, but they're really cool, and I like the metal looking effect. Pam wants to know, do you have any large sports bags? My son does taekwondo and he needs to carry gear. I'm not sure of how big of a bag you need, but I have a few duffel bags out there. There's a duffel bag in my second book called Windy City Bags. We have the emblem duffel bag pattern and video on my website. The Coalition bag also has a duffel sized version. So those are other options. Again, I'm not sure exactly how big you need the bag to be, but those are some of the duffels that I've written so far.
Oh, I got a combo comment.
Okay, Danny says he has a combo comment. Let's see. Tamara says, they are, Donna. I just put a rainbow one in my airplane bag. I think she's talking about the metal looking nylon zippers. And it was rainbow. It looked super cool. I loved it, especially with the fabric choice. And Christina says, rainbow zips, but I don't need more zips, but rainbow. Tamara, you're killing me. One can never have too many zippers. You always need to have a lot in your stash so you don't have to go to the store when you're ready to work on your project, right? So I'll see where Tamara got those rainbow zippers. I'll try to get my hands on some, and I'll show you on the live show. Sewcial Sunday maybe next week, as long as I get the zippers in the mail in time. The Stitching Sailor wants to know, should you use shape flex between the fabric and foam on large duffel bags? You sure could. Attaching shape flex before adding it to the foam interfacing gives the fabric more structure. Also, if you're using a fusible foam, the shape flex against the fabric before attaching it to the foam sort of eliminates any dimples or wrinkles that might be caused by the fusible foam. So that's a great option, especially on larger bags. Just optional, but you sure could do that, especially if you don't mind adding that extra bit of interfacing. Jennifer wants to know, would the cotton candy pouch make a good swimsuit bag? I think so. Let me think what size. Maybe I guess probably the large one, especially if you make it with laminated fabric on the inside. I wonder what it would look like in mesh fabric. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. I'll have to think about that and see. But for sure, laminated fabric, that would be great for doing that. Maybe add a little wrist strap to the side so you can take it to the pool or the beach with you. That's a really good, cool idea, Jennifer. Bronwyn says, do I use Shapeflex if using fusible vinyl for the interior? That is a good question. You might consider fusing the interfacing to your fabric before using the iron-on vinyl, just because there's a very specific process for fusing the vinyl in place. You have to use, the iron-on vinyl comes with a little sheet of paper, and you place that on top of the fabric, and then underneath there's a specific process for doing that. But I think you'd be best served if you attach the Shapeflex to the fabric and then attach the iron-on vinyl, just so you don't have any mishaps or you know, a bit of an oops when you go to iron that vinyl on. Finally, I can interact in real time. It is middle of the night in Sweden, but I am free tomorrow. Thanks so much for staying up late. I know with the time differences, especially in Europe and Australia, I've heard from other people as well in, oh gosh, I think Japan and Brazil, that they can't watch in real time, but the next day they certainly can. So thanks so much for staying up late and watching over in Sweden. Christina says, but Sarah, I quite literally have hundreds. She's talking about the zippers. I'm sure I have 100 too, but you know, you use them so fast. Every time you make a project, you got to have the right colored zipper. So, and they're not expensive if you buy them in bulk, I think. Diane's favorite quote: "One can never have too many zippers." Sarah Lawson, 2018. It's totally true. Just about every bag needs a zipper, and you've got to have the right color. It's got to be the right shade of red or the right shade of green. It can't be a glaring, I mean, look, you know, it's nice with a matching zipper, and I know I don't have, yeah, this is a matching zipper too, so there's a light pink in the fabric, and I happen to have the right color zipper, so you don't want to have to wait a few days when you're in the middle of your project to you know, get a coordinating zipper. You got to have those on hand. Melinda says, where can I find the airplane bag pattern? So if you go to sewsweetness.com, there's a graphic in the middle of the screen, should be near the top, says online workshops. The airplane bag happens to have an online workshop, and since the online workshops will be in alphabetical order, that should be at the top of the list, so that's how you can find that over on sewsweetness.com. Donna says, did you ever try out Decoville? I love Decoville. I don't have a great way to explain what it is exactly. The best that I can do is that it's an alternative to Peltex, so it's a stiff interfacing. It's probably 1/3 of the thickness of Peltex, but it fuses really, really nicely. Sometimes with fusible Peltex, you have little dimples or wrinkles after the project is finished. I like that it's thinner. I think it would be best served for especially wallets, or I've used it for reinforcing snaps also because it doesn't add a lot of bulk since it's a lot thinner. I just really like it. The descriptions I've seen of it online, they call it leather-like, so I don't know. When I first saw that description, it didn't really, I couldn't visualize what the product was like exactly. Basically, it's a stiff interfacing like Peltex, but thinner, and I feel like it fuses nicely. So I'll try to talk about that in a future Sewcial Sunday show, maybe when I start getting those wallets sewn up, because I'm planning on using some of that Decoville for the wallets. Gloria Mar says, I heard that De La Luna will not be released till August. I'm not sure if that's true. I actually got a phone call on Thursday while we were at the retreat. No, maybe it was Friday. Thursday or Friday. Was it Thursday? Danny says it was Thursday. Free Spirit, who produces De La Luna for Tula Pink, called me for my payment confirmation, letting me know that De La Luna was shipping, and that's why they were calling me to arrange payment. So sounds like it was either shipped late last week or it will be shipped this week. So I'm super excited about that. We'll have bundles on the Sew Sweetness website as soon as we get that in stock. And also I'm planning on doing what I'm calling bag packs, which is I've chosen 2 fabrics. So one fabric that I would use for the exterior of a bag, one fabric for the lining. So we'll have different bundles and packages on the website as soon as we get the De La Luna in stock. And I've already started getting the website ready. In the shop tab on my website, there's a drop-down selection for Tula Pink fabric, and as soon as we get that in the shop, we'll have that and there will be pictures and information on the website. Michelle says, if someone tells me I have too many zippers, then we can no longer be friends. No, don't need that kind of negativity in my life. I love that. That's so funny, Michelle. Thanks for posting that.
I think we should call it right there.
Okay. All right, Danny's cutting me off from the question answering, so time to get over to the giveaway. I didn't forget this week. Let me grab my giveaway goodies from the side over here. I'm going to show you the giveaway in the side camera. So let me pull out everything that will be included in this week's giveaway. So the first items in the giveaway are these patterns from Freshly Pieced. These are quilt patterns. And Lee from Freshly Pieced actually made this particular quilt using my first fabric line called Jungle Avenue. So lots of different options there. Also in the giveaway pack are patterns from May Chapel and also patterns from Amanda Murphy. So these are a selection of pieced and applique quilt patterns. Also included in the giveaway are 3 spools of Aurifil 40 weight thread. This is the thread that I use for bag making. Included in this pack is a black, white, and a gray spool of thread, and also 2 DVDs from Sharon Chamber, one on binding and another on filling spaces for machine quilting. So this is a great giveaway pack. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is leave me a comment on social media. Let me know the answer to this question. What is your favorite foot for your sewing machine? All you have to do is type that in the comments. I will draw one random winner at the end of the day this Saturday, which I believe is June 30th. I can't believe June is over already. But just let me know. We'll choose the random winner and I'll announce the winner of the giveaway next Sunday on Sewcial Sunday. So thanks so much for joining me for Sewcial Sunday. I had a lot of fun and I also enjoyed showing you the pictures from the retreat. I'll see you again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Have a great week and happy sewing.